In this lecture, we're going to recap on different types of type conversions we could do in our custom types. So far, we have seen three mechanisms through which we could do type conversions. We could go through a type conversion operator. For example, do a conversion from number to point. We saw how we could do that. We could go through a constructor that takes a type and use that to convert to another type. For example, if we have a point constructor that takes a number parameter, we could use this to convert from number to point. And we saw that we could also do this. Another way we saw was to go through the copy assignment operator that took another type as a parameter. And for example, if we have a copy assignment operator from the point class that takes a number parameter, we could also use this to do the conversion from number to point. I know this is in the void. Here are a few examples to refresh your mind. This is a type conversion operator we did for the number class. This was used to convert from number to point, and it is going to work. It is going to do the conversion. If the compiler needs to convert from number to point and it sees this, it is going to use this and it is going to work. We also saw that we could go through the constructor. For example, if we have a point constructor that takes a number parameter, we could use this to do the conversion, and this is going to work. And last but not least, we saw that we could go through the copy assignment operator. And the operator is going to take a parameter n, and we can use this to do a conversion from number to point as well. So what we're going to do in this lecture is something like this. We're going to set up a function that takes a point, and we're going to pass in a number and see what the compiler chooses. Is it going to choose the custom type conversion operator? Is it going to choose the constructor? Or is it going to choose the copy assignment operator? We're going to see that. But before we even run the code, I want you to try and guess what the compiler is going to choose for this. Another thing we're going to do is the assignment here. And we're going to have all the three conversion mechanisms n, and we're going to see what the compiler chooses. And we are going to take them out one by one until we have one left. And we're going to see the priorities that the compiler uses to choose which kind of conversion it is going to do. I hope this makes sense. Now that you know our goals, we're going to head over to Visual Studio Code and actually do this. Here we are in our working folder. The current project is Type Conversions Recap. We're going to be recapping on different types of conversions we can do from one type to another. We're going to head over in our folder here, and I am going to put in the code I had lying around on my drive to save on some typing. This is the point class we have used all along. We also have the number class, but I applied a few modifications to also have in our conversion mechanisms. You're going to see this in a minute when we open this in Visual Studio Code. If you want, you can grab this code from the resource section of the course, and you're going to have all the code here, and you can use it to do what we are about to do here. This is a comment for myself here, but I think I can also leave this in because this is the flow we're going to be following here. And we're going to look at our things. We have our point class. The point class has nothing special, but it has a constructor which takes a number n. This is just a declaration, and the implementation is going to be living in a CPP file. I think we can find that constructor here. If we go back to the header again, we're going to find that we also have a copy assignment operator that takes a number n. If we go in the CPP file for the point, we're going to see that we have this implementation here. This is all good and fine. We also have our number class, which happens to have a custom type conversion operator, and that operator happens to be here. This is just the declaration of it, and we're going to have its implementation in the CPP file, and that happens to be right here. So if you want, you can grab this code and put that in your project and use it right away. For now, we're going to head over to the main CPP file and actually use this. I am going to take out this comment because it is just going to be confusing us here. One thing I should point out is that we are using forward declarations in our class here. So you see we don't include the point class here. We are just using a forward declaration because we are sure we're not going to need the definition for the point class in this header. We are just going to need a declaration for the point, and that's what we have here. And when we hit the implementation, we're going to include the point, and then that's where we're going to be needing the definition here. I hope this is super clear. We're going to go back to the main CPP file and see what we are doing. The first thing we're going to do is the assignment here from number to point. We have two objects, a point and a number, and we are assigning a number to our point here. This is what we're going to do. And what we want to see is what the compiler uses to do this thing here. Let's go back and look at the conversion mechanisms we have and see that we have in the correct output statement. In our type conversion operator, we have an stdcout statement. If we go back to the point class, we're going to see that we have in our output statements. So if either of these is called, we're going to know which one was called by seeing a message on the console here. So we're going to build this program and see if it actually works. The build is going to be good. We can bring up a terminal and clear. If we run Rooster, we're going to see that the copy assignment operator was chosen. So the first priority of the compiler when we do a statement like this is the copy assignment operator. So we're going to save this. The first thing the compiler is going to choose is the copy assignment operator if it is available. So we want to see the second thing the compiler is going to prioritize. So we're going to go in our point class and comment out the copy assignment operator. We're going to comment this out. We're going to head over in the CPP file and also comment that out. This is our copy assignment operator. We're going to take this out. And after we do this, we're going to see that the code is going to still work. So the compiler still thinks it can manage even if we don't have a copy assignment operator in. So let's see what the compiler is going to choose. We're going to build. The build is going to be good. We can clear, let's say clear properly, and run Rooster. We're going to see that the compiler is going to choose our constructor and then use the copy assignment operator from the point class, which assigns a point to a point. So this is really interesting. So the compiler is going to look here and see that we are assigning a number to a point. It's going to look around and it's going to see that it can actually do a conversion from a number to a point using this type conversion operator. If we go in the CPP file for number, we're going to find that. And we're going to see that it is actually turning our number into a point and returning a point here. And this is what the compiler is going to choose. So it is going to convert from a number to a point, and then it is going to assign the point we get from this conversion to P1. And then that's the message we're going to see here that we are using a copy assignment operator. So this is what is happening here, and it is really interesting. So the second choice for the compiler is the constructor, and we're going to take note of this. And we're going to comment out our constructor because we want to see what the compiler is going to choose. So we're going to take this out and we're going to go in the CPP file and take it out as well. We can take out our constructor here. We're going to comment it out. And if we go back in the main CPP file, we're going to see that the compiler can still manage to do this assignment even if we have taken out our copy assignment operator and our constructor, which would allow us to use this thing. So we're going to build and see what the compiler is using. We are going to see that the build is good. We can clear and run Rooster. Now the compiler is going to do a type conversion using our type conversion operator. It's going to convert from number to point, and then it is going to do the copy assignment. And this is really cool. So the third choice of the compiler is the type conversion operator. So we're going to take note of that. And this is really interesting. Hopefully now you should know that this is the priority the compiler is going to follow. If you do an assignment like this and you happen to have in all these conversions mechanisms, the first thing the compiler is going to choose is the copy assignment operator because what you are doing is an assignment. The second choice is going to be the constructor that takes in a number because the compiler is going to think, maybe I can build a point from this thing. That's why it's going to choose a constructor. If we have no constructor available either, then the compiler is going to look around and see if it can't do a transformation from number to point. And then it is going to use our conversion operator. And then it is going to use our type conversion operator. And this is really all I wanted you to know here. So what we're going to do is comment out our assignment because it is done. Now we're going to uncomment the function that takes a point n, and we are going to reactivate all our conversion mechanisms because we want to see the behavior for function calls. We're going to go in our CPP file and bring our things in. We're going to bring in our constructor, and we're going to bring in our copy assignment operator, and we are going to build our program. We're going to pass this through GCC. We're going to see what happens. The build is going to be good. So if we run the program, we're going to see what the compiler chooses, and it is going to choose our constructor from number and use that to build a point to pass to our function that we are calling in the main function here. And this is really cool. So the first choice here is going to be the constructor. We're going to note this, and the compiler is not going to choose the assignment operator because we are clearly not doing an assignment here. I hope this is clear. So the first choice is going to be the constructor. Let's take note of that. And we are going to comment out our constructor. Let's do this. We're going to go in and take out our constructor. We're going to comment it out. We're going to go in our CPP file and also comment out our constructor. This is easy. Now the code is going to look like it's going to work, so the compiler can still manage, and we're going to build and see what it is going to use to do the function call here. We are going to see that the build is good. We're going to clear and run Rooster. Now you see that the compiler is doing a type conversion from number to point. So the compiler is going to see that it doesn't have a constructor n, and it is going to look around for a way to convert from number to point. And it is going to find our custom type conversion operator from number to point, and it is going to use that, which is what we see here. And this is really cool. So the second choice for the compiler, if it happens to do a function call like this, is the type conversion operator. We're going to take note of that. And this is really all I wanted you to see in this lecture. Doing a recap of the different kinds of conversions we can do from one type to another, and seeing the priorities of the compiler if we happen to do a cross assignment like this, or if we happen to pass a different type than the compiler expects in our function signature here. And we have seen the priorities. For the assignment, the compiler is going to choose an assignment operator if it is available. Second, it is going to choose a constructor. And in the third place, it is going to choose a type conversion operator. For our function call, the copy assignment operator isn't really a candidate because we are not doing an assignment, but the compiler is going to choose the constructor if it is available. If the constructor is not available, it is going to choose our type conversion operator. And if we don't have any of those things in, we are going to get a compiler error because then the compiler can't do the conversion to make these things work. This is all I had to share in this lecture. I hope you found it interesting. We are going to stop here in this one. In the next one, we're going to learn about functors. Go ahead and finish up here and meet me there.